Do you want to take a picture of this? Or I have one here.
Oh, no, you can just tell us before each song.
Okay.
We're playing.
EO.
I know what we're doing on EO.
And then the next music is
Okay, I just.
Bob's singing all of those. I'm just doing the third verse on that one, right? I'm doing the chorus though, or the whatever.
Yeah, what's chorus?
The Lachada
But remember.
Quiet?
No, we have to be. I don't care about quiet.
Even Steven. That thing is not white. It's got like
I
bluish
know,
tint.
no, I know. It's just, you know what? When I bought it, I thought of my cataracts.
Okay, we're
So it looked white.
We're having
I guess
trouble.
that would make sense. No, but it's nice. It looks. It borders on pharmacist, but it's looking all right. I think if you had a pocket protector, that'd be engineer.
He's got two pockets right here.
Sure.
You know, he's got the narrow lapel. This is.
He's fashion forward.
You know something?
He's
I haven't
definitely-
noted yet. It was sitting with a Macy's thing over it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your style.
There.
look a second. Hang on a second. Let me
I
just
didn't
double
opt for
check.
a tie. I couldn't find one to match. The shirt's already patterned, so I kind of just.
Yeah.
Okay, it says, yeah, just click on Zoom. Is it working? Yay.
How are the batteries? Did you check for the number of lines? Okay.
No,
This one was
it's
dead
just,
when I
it's
came in.
hyperlinked.
It was left on for the whole afternoon. I should have
Are you
shut
on?
it down.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. So, good job with that. Okay, tech guys. Whoa, that's a little loud. Are you guys ready? You're not quite ready. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no.
The red coming from Zoom a little bit.
The computer, her laptop was on. Check it now. Her laptop was on, so it was. Yeah. That might have killed it.
Because things are not working the way they worked this afternoon. I actually turned it on myself. This buzz, which we didn't have this afternoon.
Oh, this was better. With your computer.
Yeah, because once.
Try turning those lights off.
Which lights?
Yeah, I mean, we may not want them, but yeah, that's what the buzz is coming.
That's your hum.
And we didn't have them on this afternoon.
5 years that we've had buzz.
Yeah, turn it on again. And Eric?
Yeah.
Walk over and see
If it's the bass, it seems
Well,
loud.
it's going to be unfortunate to open the arc with
Are those the arc lights or what lights are?
the arc lights.
They're the backlighting for the arc.
That's been the problem.
You want me to turn it off?
It's not changing.
Yeah, your best bet to turn it off, probably.
Well, it's going to not look very attractive.
Well, turn off.
Is this buzz,
You know, we're much louder than it. It's probably fine.
buzz heard out there?
Out in the sanctuary. It's going through the system, so I think it's. Oh, okay.
Well, if you want, I can flip it on before we open the arc. I'll try to remember that. Is it the one on this wall right here? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, tech folks, how are you doing back there? You're ready? We can get started. Yay. Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. What's that? I already am streaming. But they can record too. Are you recording, guys? Okay, okay. Okay, everybody, Shabbat Shalom. We're getting started. And does everybody have a prayer book? Yeah? Okay. Let me explain something about the prayer books to you. There are fat ones and thin ones. Okay, just like the dream that the Pharaoh had, the fat cows and the thin cows, okay? I'm going to give you both page numbers. The first one will be for the fat book, and the second one will be for the thin book, okay? All right, so we're going to start with Hine Matov, which is page 128. And actually, I lied to you about giving you both page numbers. Hang on a second. It's page 128 in the fat book and page 10 in the thin one. And please join joyfully.
Shabbat Shalom. So Morris is going to be singing the melody, and I and you are going to sing together for the first time in a very long time in this sanctuary on a Shabbos. Go for it, guys. Get that groove going. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. Shevet achim, gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim. Shevet achim, gam yachad. Brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. Yeah, it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day.
And now I'd like to call up Aunt Tina and Mother Karina to say some blessings for us, including the blessing for the candles, Shabbat candles, pages 121 and 3. Okay, so she's going to read this first.
In the midst of this community, we gather together as our child is prepared to become a messenger of the sacred tradition of the Jewish people. On the eve of our child's entrance into Jewish maturity as a bar mitzvah, may he always treasure this precious inheritance. May his heart always be filled with joy, his mind with wisdom and insight, his lips with kindness, and may he be a worthy sustainer of the teachings of Torah that have given meaning and inspiration to all humanity. This. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As the brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Make some room for Jacob to light.
Is there a lighter?
Right here. Now what you're going to do is you take that, you light that. Okay. The wick is, I think that's okay. Good job. Ooh, oh, oh. Careful where you blow. Okay, blow sideways. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Okay. Oh, God. What happened? Okay. All right, Tina's going to do the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Good job. Okay, and Uncle Mike is going to come up and join Jacob in the Kiddush. Now, the Kiddush is on page 123 and 5.
Is it grape juice or wine?
It's grape juice. Yeah. We're not going to make you get drunk. Do it afterwards. Yeah, you can leave. Okay, let's say it together. But talking to the mic or they can't hear you on Zoom, okay?
Okay.
Move the mic up. Yeah. And hold it up for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'maaseh Bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziyah mitzrayim, ki vanu v'harta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, v'shabbat kodesh. Ve'ahava u'ratzon hinhiltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
And Jonathan, father of Jacob, is going to recite the English. Can't hear it.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finally favor with us, sanctify us with mitzvah. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the people. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance.
page 126 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah, this works.
You don't have to hold it. I don't think so. It's lowered.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services. But I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, and my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us, and to bring that vision to life.
And we continue with Lecha Dodi. We welcome the Sabbath bride, as the mystics of our tradition began in the 16th century by going out into nature wearing white. We're on page 138 and 20, and we're going to do verses 1, 2, 3, and 9. And at 9, we are going to stand up and face the door to welcome the Sabbath bride.
Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. Shabbat zachor b'divorecha, ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'lifti la 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 la. Chadodi lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha lecha dodi, lekrat lekrat kala, penei Shabbat nekavela. Shabbat lechu v'nelecha, ki mekor ha'baracha, merosh מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, לה 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 לה. דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת לקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קום יצאי מתוך אהבך, רב לך שבת בעמק הבכה, וכל ילד ולעיקם לה 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 לה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצרה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה,
we continue page 263 and 145 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikada, Vikada, Shmei Rabba, Beama Divra Hirte, Beam Limochate, Bahaya home of Yomecha, Ufayed Hobe Israel, Bagala, Bagala, Uvisman Kari, Vimru, Amen. Yeheshme Rabba Mavara. Leolam Olam Elmaya, Yibara, Vishaba, Vipar Virman Vietnase, Vietadar, Vitalev, Litalal, Schmedikucho, Brehu, Leolam Mikobi Hashav, Hirata, Tushbahata, Venemata, Damin and Ranbelma, Vimeru, Amen.
We rise for the Baruch Hu, and Alan and Diane Quasman will open the ark for us on the next page, 264 and 146. And we continue on the next page with the Ma'ariv Aravim, the blessing that recognizes that God created the world.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokma protei sha'arim, uvi v'na meshanei itim, u'mahalif et hazmanim, umsaper et hakohavim b'mishmertem barakia kirtzono, b'rei yom v'layla, v'leil or mipne hoshe, v'hoshe mipne or. Ma'avir yom umevi laila ma'avdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai Sabaoth Shemo El Hai B'Kayam Tamidim Lo Halenu Leolam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
On page 266 and 148 is the Ahavat Olam, the blessing that tells us that out of love God gave us Torah.
Ahavat Olam Beit Israel Amhavta Torah u'mitzvot hukim mishpatim otanu lamadatam. Hokein Adonai Eloheinu b'shbeku v'kumeinu nasiyah b'hukecha. V'nisma b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki heim hayenu v'orach yameinu v'orach yameinu uvachet nege yomam v'layla ve'ahavataha al tasir mimenu la'olamim v'rahat Adonai oheva mo Yisrael.
Please rise for the Shema on the next page.
Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Yai la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Yai la 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 la.
Please be seated and please join Jacob in the Ve'ahavta. Just as much as God loves us, we love God back. Page 268 and 150.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Eloheinu v'chol levacha u'chol nafshecha u'chol ma'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavcha hayom alavavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shifteha b'veiteha uvlekteha v'derek u'shukbeha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafo beininecha Utavtam, Amazuzot Betecha, Uvisharecha, Laman Tiskaru, Vyasitem, Ekometzotai, Vahitem Kelohim, Lelohehem, Ani Adonai, Elohehem, Asher, Hasiahem, Meretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lahem, Lelohim, Ani Adonai Elohehem.
And Omri Lavi is going to read the English for us.
Yeah.
You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take heart to these instructions with which I charge you to this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments, and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
When the Israelites left Egypt from slavery, they crossed the Sea of Reeds on dry land, and when they got to the other side, they were amazed at God's power. The Michamocha is what they sang joyfully on page 270 and 152. Please join us.
Oh, Miriam, Zeli, Anu ve'ameru, Adonai Imo, le'olam va'ed. Mi kamocha boilim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, Torah tehillah, oh sefer Torah tehillah, oh sefer Malchutecha va'ovanecha, Tokei hayam l'fnei Moshe, Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli, Anu ve'ameru, Adonai Imo, le'olam va'ed. Easy words. Take it, Eric.
And God gave us the great gift of Shabbat, a weekly moment to renew ourselves spiritually. Page 272 and 154.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשהו אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינופר, שבת וינופר, שבת וינופר. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
And we rise for the tefillah, beginning on page 273 and 155. If you're able. If you're not able, don't rise.
Adonai Sevatai, Sevatai Tifta, Uvi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Adonai Sevatai, Sevatai Tifta, Uvi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Ara Elohei Rivka Elohei Rahel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Onara El Elyon Gomel Hasadim Tovim V'Koneh Hakol V'Socher Hasei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Gula Livnei V'Lehem L'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Hozer U'Mashiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham V'Ezrat Sarah Orleo Adai Mahaye Hakol Atarav Loshia Moshi Harua Moshi Hagashem Mahakel Hayim Bechesed Mahaye Hakol Barahamim Rabim Zomen Nochlim Baroche Holim Umatir Asurim Umahaye Emunato Lisene Afar Nichamo Chabel El Gvura Umidola, Melech Memim, Umahale, Umazmi Yeshua, Vena Emanata, Lahoyota Ko, Burhata, Lanai, Mahaye Ha'akol. Takadosh, Vishim HaKadosh, Ukjoshim B'chol Yom, V'yahalu HaSelah, Burhata, Lanai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
You may be seated and turn to page 279 and 161. This is a prayer that God accepts our prayer.
Hold on.
Eloheinu v'Eloheinu v'Imoteinu, Ritzei v'menuchateinu, Kodshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'tein chelkeinu b'toratecha, sabeinu b'tuvecha, v'samcheinu b'shuatecha, v'ta'er libeinu le'avdecha be'emet, ve'achilenu Adonai Eloheinu be'ava u'v'ratzon. Shabbat Kodshecha ve'anuchu v'Yisrael mekasher shemecha. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
And the next prayer in the tefillah is a prayer of thanksgiving, page 280 and 162. Modim anachnu lach.
Modim anachnu la, Sha'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu le'olam va'ed. Sora hayenu magen yishenu ata hu l'dor v'dor. Nodeh l'cha unsaper tehilatecha al hayenu hamsurim biadecha ve'al nishmeotecha hapkudot lach ve'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu ve'al nifleotecha v'tovotecha shebachol et erev bavokir v'tzoharahim. Hato ki lo chalu rahamecha v'ham rahim ki lo tamu chasadecha me'olam kiyinu lach v'al kulam yipara v'yirman shimcha malkeinu tamid le'olam va'ed v'chol ha'hayim yoducha selah v'yihalalu et shimcha be'emet ha'el Yeshuatenu ve'ezratenu selah. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ucha na'el lahodot.
Beautiful. Good job. Good job. That was a really tough one. Ron and Paul are going to read the English. Nailed it.
For the good in us, which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being.
And these incredible people have done so much, right? Oh my God, it's having. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm still going to say. I don't know why it's not letting me talk. Right? Are you cutting off my mic? Is that what you're doing?
Good.
No, it's not good. You guys are amazing. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if this gentleman, yes, you can give him a hug too if you want.
Yeah. A big hug for you.
They cut my mic off. Can you believe that? Okay. Also, if this gentleman did a beautiful job aside from his own efforts, this young woman was his Hebrew tutor for several years, Haley Mangus, and she is now going to sing Shalom Rav, which is a prayer for peace at the end of the Tefillah, page 282 and 164. Of course, the other reason that he does a spectacular job is Carolee Jaspin, sitting here, our Melamedet, who works so hard with every student. It's unbelievable. For only 40 years so far, right? 40 and going strong, right? So we now take a moment to think of those in need of healing, whether of body, of mind, or of spirit. We think of congregants and friends and family of congregants, Jonathan Davidson, Ben Henderson, Kara Gilman, Rabbi Steve Robbins, Gloria Mangus, Leslie Ferris, Pamela Mangus, Johnny Sikat, Judy Richmond, Esther Bauman, Audrey Eller, J. Michael Johnson, Jesse Dollamore, Glickle Sarah Bat Devora Milka Gittel. Would anyone like to add a name? As I look around the room, please do so. Zoom for some more names. A lot of names. Oof. Rachel Heslin, Sandra Landis, Sarah Heslin, Jess Landis, Eleanor Gailey, Alan Edelman, Stephanie Soloway, Sheldon Cohen, David Kurland, Robin Kurland, David Tanazaki, Ron Brazil, Ron Jones, Emmy Levine, Jane Halvard, Kimco, Raul Camacho, Rabbi Mel Young, Gary Lucas, Lori Hopper, and please join us in the Misha Berach, the prayer for healing, which is on page 371 and 253.
Find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
So this week's Torah portion is Bereshit, which is the beginning of the Torah, and it's about creation. And of course, it's the same Torah portion that Jacob has, which we'll talk about tomorrow. And when we started studying this a little while ago with his father seemed to be quite interested in the comparisons to other ancient Near Eastern stories. And we were talking about trees and snakes and all that. So that's what inspired me to write about this tonight in comparison to other ancient Near Eastern creation stories. So Jonathan, thank you for the inspiration. So the beginning of the Torah tells us how the world began. And what do stories like a creation story serve? What kind of function? They represent attempts by people of faith to answer fundamental questions about existence and meaning. According to one historian, these stories concern questions about the primary significance of God, humanity, and the world. Small questions. They ask, who are we? Why are we here? Where are we going? What is the place of humanity? And these are questions that cannot be answered by science or history. They're timeless statements about God as creator and human rebellion against the creator, and therefore the need for redemption. What does our origin story tell us about these questions? Well, number one, it tells us about God. God creates by the word. This God has absolute sovereignty over nature and humankind. God's creation is good. God's word is law. This God is majestic and dominant. And this is a God of order who transforms dark, formless, empty chaos into a world of godly order. God divides creation into 6 orderly stages with symmetrical structure. Note there's a repetition, and God said, let there be, and it was so, and God saw that it was good, and there was one day, over and over again. Each stage lasts one day. There's symmetry, for example, between the formation of light and darkness on the first day and the heavenly bodies created on the fourth day. There are lots of symmetries. Symmetry serves the following purpose. The design of the world is not autonomous or accidental. It's based on the will of God. Number two, we learn that God has an intention for the world. God intends human beings to live in this orderly world of meaning and values and to accept their responsibility for the maintenance of this kind of world. Number three, we learn about the place of human beings in the world. The human being is created last and is the pinnacle of creation. There's a break in the symmetrical structure when the Adam, the human being, is created, so that the human being is set apart, created in the image of God, not simply an animal. Human beings are distinct from other created beings. They're subordinate to God, but are also God's vice-regent over the natural order, charged with the working of God's will. Of course, they don't do such a good job at that, but that's next chapter. God is known through the creation of human beings, not through molten images. As theologian Walter Brueggemann puts it, God is not imagined in anything fixed, but in the freedom of human persons to be faithful and gracious. And the human being is animated by the breath of God, and human beings have a unique relationship to the Creator. So let us contrast this to another very famous creation story, the Enuma Elish, which is the Babylonian creation story that was written about 1100 BCE, several hundred years before our own. And you'll see some parallels, but transformation. The Enuma Elish begins with the earliest primordial time when only the divine couple existed. The divine couple is Apsu, which means fresh water, and Tiamat, which means salt water. Notice that in our creation story, we have one God. Here, there are two. And it starts off with, when on high the heaven had not yet been named, firm ground below had not been called by name, only primordial Apsu, their begetter, and Mumu Tiamat, she who bore them all, their waters commingling as a single body. Before the bog had formed and no island could be found, when no gods whatever had been created, when no god had been given a name, then it was that gods were formed within them. So this couple begets several baby gods. So many gods spring from them and then eventually rebel against their authority. Apsu, the father, is slain by the rebels, and Tiamat, the mother, in revenge, launches a well-planned attack on the younger gods. Marduk, the principal god of the city of Babylon, is made champion of the younger gods and enters into mortal combat with Tiamat, mother and son. After a titanic struggle, Marduk triumphs and kills Tiamat, making the heavens and the earth from her body. He split her in half like a dried fish. Half of her he set up and roofed the sky with it. He then drew a limit and posted guards. He commanded them not to allow her waters to escape. Marduk created stations for the great gods, fixing their astral likeness as the constellations. He determined the year by designating the zodiac. He set up 3 constellations for each of the 12 months, after defining the days of the year by means of heavenly figures. He bade the moon to come forth, entrusting the night to him. So order is established out of chaos here, although the chaos is caused by these gods. Marduk then decides to make human beings to be workers for the gods. We're not workers, we are vice-regents. So here's what it says about the little human beings that are created. Blood I will mass and cause bones to be. I will establish a savage, man shall be his name. Verily, savage man will I create. He shall be burdened with the service of the gods, that they might be at ease. One of the gods who aided Tiamat in her battle against Marduk is used as material for the creation of the human being. With this blood, they created humankind. So a very violent beginning. So there clearly are similarities between these stories. Both express the universal concern for meaning and order. Both show that the world, humanity, and life all share a divine origin. The order of creation is similar. Both begin with water covering everything, and they share the same cosmology. But more importantly, here's how they differ. In the Enuma Elish, a struggle among the gods is the origin of the world. In our story, it's the creative activity of one sovereign God who, with a word, establishes order out of chaos. Creation is the result in the Enuma Elish of divine sex, whereas in our story, creation results from divine thought. Combat in the Enuma Elish is replaced by the divine word in ours. Behind the Enuma Elish and some other creation stories is the idea of a personal chaotic force continually seeking to undo the work of the gods. In Genesis, chaos is an instrument in God's hands. Because, even some people think in the beginning means God started then, but there was already all this chaos and some kind of unformed void there, and God worked with that was already there. In the Enuma Elish, humans are created out of the body of a bad actor to serve as God's servants. In Genesis, people are made to have dominion over the world and to enjoy fellowship with their Creator, not to be servants in the household of the gods. They're free to work out their own destinies in cooperation with God and fellow human beings. Human beings in Genesis are free to work out their destiny. Genesis affirms the goodness of creation. Humankind is secure because God protects the world against chaos. Human beings live in a world whose existence and meaning is derived from God, and they are safe. In the Enuma Elish, the earth is sacred, as it is made from the body of a goddess. In Genesis, time is sacred, and this is where we learn about Sabbath being a holy day. Now, there's another ancient Near Eastern story called Gilgamesh. In Gilgamesh, the hero, whose name is Gilgamesh, seeks immortality, whereas in Genesis, human beings seek wisdom and the knowledge of good and evil. In other words, where other ancient Near Eastern origin stories search for immortality, we search for morality. And that's the legacy that we are giving to you, Jacob. Yes, the legacy of Judaism, which believes in a partnership between God and human beings, that believes in morality, not in immortality, that believes in doing justice in the world. And you've already proven that you care about all of these things. So we are putting a great amount of faith in you. Mazel tov. Ooh, look what just appeared on my...
A song called Yedid Nefesh, with a counter melody or another verse in English by the Zweig family. The English is by Jerry Sperling. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Mishochadecha Eretzonecha, Mishochadecha La 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 Eretzonecha Yarus Avdecha la 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 el mul hadarecha yishtachave la 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 el mul hadarecha. As he was there a bar mitzvah, as so many others before. They must have trembled as he does now, not knowing what life has in store. He must have strength in himself, and he'll follow your ways. Blessed are your holy ways. Heart's delight, O source of blessing, draw this child into your arms. Heart's delight, O source of blessing, come and draw this child into your arms. Someday he'll stand in awe before you. Until then, watch over him. Watch over him. Watch over him.
Kevin Aiken is on our board of directors. He's the president of the Senior Havurah, and he has some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I have several announcements and one presentation. Tomorrow, of course, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. is the service at which Jacob Davidson becomes bar mitzvah. Cantor Bob and the TBE band will enliven the service. And the next Torah study will be October 29th at 10 a.m. only over Zoom only. Everybody gets the regular announcements that tell you how to Zoom into meetings. On Sunday, October 30 at 1 p.m. With Isaac and Rabbi Shauna, there will be a Make Your Own Golem event, making them out of paper and cut-up comic books. It's a free event sponsored by the Legacy Fund with materials provided. No art experience required, no clay, no magic spells, just enthusiasm. Please RSVP to the office if you want to attend. There will be a program on Thursday, November 3rd about end-of-life options, facilitated by Rabbi Singer, Judy Epstein of End-of-Life Options, and Stuart Florsheim, and it will be held on Zoom only. Save the date, please, for Saturday, December 10th at 4 p.m. It'll be a Tree of Life event to recognize our temple members who supported the temple and our members during COVID. And tonight's Oneg, which is going to be outdoors after the service, is sponsored by the Davidson family and friends in honor of Jacob's bar mitzvah. Then one more thing. Several months ago, like 6 months ago, several of us started talking about how we could honor Roz Jones. Rosalind Jones has been remarkably active since, let's see, 1983 or so, when she joined the temple, somewhere in there, give or take a year. And there's what we ended up doing is collecting donations to put up 2 leaves. Roz's contributions do not fit on 1 leaf. We got 2 leaves for the Tree of Life. Actually, this is a scratched one, which I will give Roz to take home. We just today put up the unscratched one on the Tree of Life. This one says, honoring Rosalind Jones, teacher, activist, unionist, volunteer, committee member, board member, and friend, 2022. And we have another one right next to it, which I'll point out in a minute. And it honors her as the previous treasurer of the Senior Havurah and thanks her for her service as an officer of the Senior Havurah. So we have 2 leaves on the tree for her. And if Roz could come up, we'll do a shehechianu to honor the occasion.
Are you going to show us where the leaves are too?
Yes, I'll do that on the way back down.
Thank you. Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you. I'm not worried about you.
Nicole, we're going to do Shehechianu first. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you. That's basically all I can say. It's really, really heartwarming. Thank you very much.
And let me point out that Roz is a past treasurer of this congregation, certainly understands the importance of this. Past finance director of the congregation, certainly knows the importance of this form of recognition, because each one of these represents contributions made to the Temple General Fund.
So if you do the side camera, we're going to find out where the leaves are. Hey, look. The scratch. Kevin, thank you for doing that. And we have other people to thank. First of all, our incredible band. We're not supposed to clap, but what the heck, you know? Eric Sabar, Adam Perlstein, Morris Maduro, and Cantor Bob Sirotnik. And Jory, of course, I'm sorry. Jory does so many things, it's hard to keep track. The guy's been running back and forth between doing the music and going back there and doing the tech. So I want to thank the tech people, Jory and Shia and Asher. Can we see you? There they are. Asher, we only see your hand. There you are. Good job. You guys did a great job tonight, and this was not easy, and it'll get harder tomorrow, too. Challenging. Yeah, they did a great job. Thank you. And Carol Lee, of course, incredible. My pleasure. And Karina and your whole family and friends and everybody who helped make this possible, and the oneg and tomorrow's luncheon and everything. Thank you for making, it takes a village, right? All of us together. And Jacob, great job tonight.
Thank you.
Looking forward to tomorrow. Like this is so funny because in this congregation, the student does all Friday night as though that were the bar mitzvah, but it's not the bar mitzvah yet. It's just a warm up, right? Yeah. Okay, and the Youngs also helped, and of course, Wendy, every week, it does all the work for the oneg. Thank you so much. So to honor Wendy and Dean, Eva, you can come up too to open the Ark for the Aleinu. So the Aleinu is on the inside cover of your prayer book, and we rise. Bob. So good to have him back, because he always reminds me of things I don't do. I thanked Haley before, but I will thank her again. He said, you forgot Haley. I didn't forget her, but I will thank her again. Thank you, Haley, for your music and your teaching and everything. Anything else you need to tell me? Because when he's not here, he does it on Zoom, right? He sends me notes. You forgot this, you forgot that. Okay, anyway. Good to have you back, Bob.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tegedu l'aliyotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzon, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu notei shamayim ve'yosed haaretz, Hu Moshe v'ikaro b'shamayim mima'al, U'shchinatu zo, b'govhei miromim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet malkeinu efes ulato, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום להשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד, אין עוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
May be seated. We take a moment to think of those who are no longer with us. May their memories be for a blessing. Is anyone in Shiva? In Shloshim, we think of Gary Grant, who's the brother-in-law of Sandy Tarmo. Anybody else in Shloshim or the first year of mourning?
Addie Pack.
And on Zoom, Edith Tanizaki, Phil Bush, Ruth, first year Elena Archibek Farris, Judith Cohen, Sean Heslin, Ruth Landis, Joanne Heslin, Patty Podnar, and we're observing yard sites this Shabbat for Edward Burke, Edith McCott, Irving Hirsch, Simone Phillips Keir, Faith Prince, Georgia Bloomfield, Renee Goldstein, Donald Hartley, Rose Osherenko, Christina Martin Perlstein, Randy Stanford, Samuel Fiddleholtz, Judy Kushner, Phil Burns, Ralph Cannell, Sadie Lipkin, Florence Rackman, Edith Rudman, Mary Benson, Ruth Young, Sophie Plotkin, Murray H. Blumenfeld, Hy Rosen, Joan Fisher, Samuel Rosen, Winfield Clark, Copel Bauman, Lawrence J. Finkel, Isidore Posner. Anyone else observing a yard site? Anybody on Zoom observing a yard site? We think, of course, of those who perished in the Holocaust and have no one to say the mourner's Kaddish for them. Please rise and join me, page 598 and 294. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yehutei v'yamlich malhutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei lechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as together we say.
Amen.
And our closing song is the last couple of lines of the Kaddish, Oseh Shalom.
Say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru
Before we do the motzi, folks, today is a very important day. Very important day. This gentleman is turning 13 today. So we need to do a Yom Huledet Sameach.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
And when Jacob and Omri were in 5th grade, I said to them, what is the pinnacle of the service? And they said, the oneg. So this is what starts. Who made this gorgeous thing? Where is this from? Simple Simons. Okay, here we go.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for the oneg, and those on Zoom, please continue to meet.
Randy? Randy? Randy?